Hello students, in the last video lecture of circulatory system we have discussed about the blood. Now let us discuss the second part of the circulatory system, that is arteries and the veins. These are basically the vascular system which is available in our body, which is actually connected to the heart. It is taking the oxygenated blood to the all body parts and taking deoxygenated blood from all body parts back to the heart. So these are the structures of arteries and veins. Let us have a small discussion about arteries and veins. Arteries and veins. In our body, first of all, you have to remember, in our body, there is a network of arteries and veins. They are also interconnected in many parts. But if we see the artery, let us see an artery. It splits up into arteriole. It splits up into arteriole. This is the artery. Let's call it the main artery, aorta. And then it splits up into arteriole. And this arteriole then splits up into network of capillaries which extend throughout the body and get embedded inside the muscles. Okay? And on the other hand, if we see, there is a venule structure. Veins are there. A main vein, that is vena cava. It splits up into venule. It splits up into a little thin venule, and then these venules then further splits to form vein capillaries. And see, these are interconnected to each other in different parts of the body. So this way, a structure is formed, a network is formed in the body of the human. Okay, remember that. Now, if I make a artery and vein, take a section cutting of the artery and the vein. Let us see, let's cut this portion and understand what is the internal part of it. Now, if we have cut it longitudinally, we have cut, so we can say it is a LS section. Now, if it is a vein, veins also have a three-layered wall. So this is a vein we are talking about. And this is venule, in which vein is being split, and these are vein capillaries. Okay, so we are discussing about a vein. A vein, if we take a longitudinal section, it has basic coverings. Let's call three coverings are there of its wall. The first one is tunica externa, and the middle one is called tunica media, and the inner one is called tunica interna. Let's label it. The outer one is tunica externa, and the blue one, middle one, is called tunica media. And the last one, the innermost one, is called tunica interna. And this empty space is called lumen. Lumen is the empty space through which the blood travels. Now, these are basically veins which are thin walled as compared to arteries. We'll form the artery also, we'll understand that. These are thin walled. Okay, if these are thin walled, then blood must be flowing with the lesser pressure as compared to the arteries. But as the blood is flowing with the low pressure, there are valves which are present in the veins. There are valves which are present in the veins. So these valves actually, what do they do? Actually, they stop the backflow of the blood, right? So this is the structure of the vein, having thin wall, larger lumen with valve present in it. So blood flows with the lesser pressure but smoothly, not with a jerk. And veins are superficial, means just below the skin they are present. Okay, they can be seen very easily. On the other hand, if we see the artery, let's make artery. The same way arteries are also made up of 3 layers. Their wall is made up of 3 layers. Okay. The outermost one is as in the vein. As in the veins, it is also called as tunica externa. Tunica externa. And the middle one is called as, let's make the middle one also. The middle one is called tunica media. Tunica media. So this is tunica media. And the innermost one is called as tunica interna. Tunica interna. And this is the lumen. This is the lumen. So this is artery and this is the vein. In arteries, the lumen is very small. When the lumen is very small, the pressure of the blood will be more. And because when the ventricles contract, right, especially the left ventricle, the blood flows through the arteries with a very high pressure, very high pressure. Okay, and blood flows with a jerky movement, right? In the arteries, blood flows with a jerky movement with a high pressure. But arteries wall is little elastic, so they expand and contract. Veins wall is not actually much of elastic. They do not expand and contract easily. And arteries are usually embedded inside the muscles. Very few of them we can see on the surface. So these are the basic differences between arteries and veins. One basic fact, remember that in arteries, usually oxygenated blood is transported through arteries. Usually oxygenated blood is transported except pulmonary artery in which deoxygenated blood travels. The same way veins transport deoxygenated blood, but means blood without oxygen, maybe with the carbon dioxide, except pulmonary vein, which takes oxygenated blood to the heart. So these are basically arteries and veins. So hope you understand, and it will help you to understand the arteries and veins and their functions and their internal structures. Thank you very much.